entering fantasy basketball drafts. He's a few centers I would target in your drafts. The first guy is Christian Wood of the Houston Rockets. So Christian Wood last season was a good year for him in his first season with the Houston Rockets. 21 points a game, 9.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.9 threes a game, 51% from the field. So right here, Houston, they've gutted their roster over the last season and a half here, getting rid of Westbrook, getting rid of Capella, getting rid of James Harden, and Christian Wood, he might be the best player on this roster this season. So right here, he can score the basketball, he could rebound as well, and he even could shoot the three ball a little as Christian Wood. And right now, he's going about third or fourth round in fantasy drafts, and he's definitely a center I would definitely target here because he does a little bit of everything, and he's a guy that's probably the number one or two option over there in Houston. The next center is Ayton of the Phoenix Suns. So DeAndre Ayton last season was a great year for him, helping the Suns get to the NBA championship. 14.4 points a game, 10.5 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 1.2 blocks a game, and 62% from the field. So very efficient Ayton was. He's a defensive specialist and rebounding specialist. And right now he's going about late second, early third round in fantasy drafts. But like I mentioned, this guy's a perfect center to have on your roster. He's a walking double-double. And right here, once again this season for Phoenix, I think he's going to put up good numbers. I think his scoring could go up just a little bit. Last year took a little bit of a downturn. But I think DeAndre Ayton is a player you should get on your roster and target on draft day, especially at a weak center position this year. The next center is Rudy Goldberg of the Utah Jazz. So Rudy Goldberg, one of the best defensive players in all the league. And last season, what a fantasy year. He had 14.3 points a game, 13.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 2.7 blocks a game, and 67% from the field. So right here, don't get any better than that at the center position, especially with the 67% from the field and the 2.7 blocks per game. So right now, he's going about end of the second, early third round in fantasy leagues. Here's Rudy Goldberg. And Goldberg, he's going to do more of the same in my opinion. He's going to be a double-double guy. He's going to be the 2.5 blocks a game, and a high field goal percentage with a lot of putbacks and dunks here. So Rudy Goldberg, you definitely target him on draft day here, especially in that third round. He would be nice to get at that center position is Rudy Goldberg. The next center is Quint Capella of the Atlanta Hawks. So the Atlanta Hawks had a great season, and that obviously because of Trae Young. But Quint Capella was a huge part of that Hawks season last year. 15.2 points a game, 14.3 rebounds, which is an astronomical number, and 2 blocks a game with 59% from the field. So Quint Capella, we know throughout his career, he's been banged up and injured. And right now, he's a little banged up with a little bit of an Achilles soreness. But right here, I think he's going to be fine for the season. And last year, he put up huge numbers. And once again, this year, I think he puts up great numbers, is Capella. And right now, he's going anywhere from the 4th to the 5th round of fantasy drafts. And I think that's a perfect spot to target a guy like Capella, who's going to help you in field goal. He's going to score the basketball at a decent amount. And he's going to get a big amount of rebounds and block shots a game like last season that he did with 2 a game. So right here, definitely target Capella. He's going at a good ADP, and he's one of the better centers in fantasy basketball as well. In the 5th and final center I would target this season is Jarrett Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Allen, he got traded from the Brooklyn Nets in that 14 trade for James Harden last season. And last year, they opened it up for Allen. He got the big contract in the offseason, and what a year he had. 12.8 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 1.4 blocks, 61% from the field. So now that he's going to be the main man over there at the center position with no one really on his neck or not backing up anymore. Jarrett Allen, he's going to be one of the better centers, in my opinion, in fantasy basketball this season here. He's going to score the basketball. He's going to get double-digit rebounds per game, and he's got a knack for the shot blocking as well. And he's a guy going 5th to 6th round of fantasy draft, which is great value in my opinion for Jarrett Allen. So that's a few centers I would target entering NBA fantasy drafts for fantasy basketball in the next couple weeks.